this.
Life. Life.
I was fine when you held my hand. I was fine when you pulled me down. You said the stars would answer. You said our prayers were written down. I was fine when you pulled me in. We were forced to be human, and then the world came after, and I had never questioned it. And they said it was wrong. We started it all.
Hello, Smite fans. Welcome to the Smite Prime 5v5 Battle for Athens. I'm Bryce LPs, and with me here, I have J-Mac Tucker. What's up, J-Mac?
Oh, just another day in the lovely game of Smite here in, like you said, the grand finals for Athens.
I regret talking to you. It's
I
a
do
lovely
too.
day and Smite in the same sentence. But let's go
You're
ahead and
right,
get
you're
into
right.
these bans.
Marvelous day.
Shut up. Erlong Schlong and Baron Samedi off the board.
No surprise on those, especially as of recently with the Berserker Shield brought into the game, makes Erlong Shen and really all of the auto attack warriors such a potent, even jungle and solo lane matchup there. And then Baron Samedi with his flexibility in 3 different roles just makes him a prominent god to ban away.
I love Baron Samedi. He can, the fact that he can go so many different places and play so many different ways is just makes him one of the most enjoyable characters Hyros has released in a very long time. Next
play
band
as.
coming up though, Freya. Yeah, play as. That's very true.
To play as soon as you go against that Baron, you're like, guys, get this god off of me. Why is he in my lane?
Sucks.
He's your lane opponent. Why is he in my lane then? Somebody else come to my lane. I'm going over there.
Yeah, so Freya banned off the board as we saw the rework recently. She has been very strong, and Athena off the board as well. Taunt, OP. That's all I gotta say.
I think with Freya, we really got to see her strength when Pretty Prime brought her out and went on a godlike streak in the SPL in her first match of the SPL during the split. We really got to see how strong she is. And Athena, she is seeing some nerfs next patch, and for all reasons being, she is a very powerful god and a very powerful guardian nonetheless. But we're going to see Chernobog, the first god, locked in. a lot of lane pressure with this hunter.
A lot of lane pressure and map pressure overall with that ultimate, with all the effects that it has, like 80 or something. He can just fly right on over, secure a kill if he needs to. It's like Nuwa ult, except you can get off more damage.
It's kind of a mixture of Nuwa ult and Athena ult, because the Nuwa ult, you go up, you can see everybody, you're in the sky, and then the Athena ult, where instead of teleporting to an ally, you now go to an enemy, or you can just drop yourself back on, kind of like a Rom ult. It's kind of a three ult styles all mixed into one, with all of the built-in fun that comes with it. Zhang Kui being looked at here, and we've seen him a lot more recently in the solo lane, though he does still have option to be a mid laner.
But he much more prominently shown in the solo lane. He has that crazy sustain, and with the blue buff, he doesn't have to leave lane for like 8 years. On her being hovered here, there's potential for this pick, but I don't know why you get it when there's other picks available. Sovek and On her locked in.
I think the Onher is here just because he's going to be able to match the Chernobog's early game. Onher is really known for being that early and mid game hunter, somebody to really kind of combat against this Chernobog is the big thing for it. And with the Sobek locked in, that could go solo, that could go support. Though Sobek is another one of those good gods to go up against Chernobog. You have a couple of ways to interrupt his damage and interrupt his mobility as well.
Though with Geb being hovered here, that pluck isn't going to do too much with Geb shield available. Thoth is locked in. That's probably going to be going to the mid lane. I can't really see. I mean, it could go somewhere else, but if it does, I don't think it's going to work out for you.
Yeah, I don't think Thoth is one of those solo lane mages that kind of risen into power like the Zhang Kui did. He's pretty much sticking to the mid lane. You might see the rare ADC Thoth, but that's a little less common than anything else. And Geb will be locked in as well. So far, we're looking at a lot of late game here on the side of Harris.
Someone say late game because I see some early game being covered right now with the Thanatos and locked in. I love me Thanatos.
Thanatos come late game, he is just going to be the ult bot. He is going to be the erase the tank off the map. And if you can get a Geb below 40% HP at max at level 20, albeit that's all you have fun with that. But right now, they're wanting late game, so let's try and out pressure them early and mid and beat them before like that 25-30 minute mark.
Ratatosk are going to be banned on the side of Babylon Esports, as well as Cirquet. Two junglers. It looks like they are trying to limit the amount of jungle options for Harris Fan Club. Agni is going to be banned by Harris Fan Club, as well as Soul, get some of those mages off the board.
No surprise really on that. On her does have that flexibility into the mid lane as well. So as well as Soul being able to flex to mid and the Hunter ADC role. Really no surprise thing these two, as well as Agni there. Agni is probably still one of the top tier mages in the game at the moment, just because of his long range poke and setup potential.
Now, right now we saw Isis locked in. That's going to be the mid option. Immediately Hades is going to be locked in. So there's potential. Oh, it's hard to tell. Vamana, so is
that's looking like Vamana jungle to me. If that Vamana's locked in here after Hades and Geb, and even the Thoth, that's screaming Vamana jungle for me.
Vamana, that's interesting. I want to see how this works. I don't know if I've seen that too much.
It's not very common, but when it is, basically what Vamana jungle is going to offer to you is the kind of early damage that you like to see out of the Vamana, as well as a little bit of setup potential against gods who lack mobility in the forms of dashes and escapes. Isis being one of those, so she isn't immune to slows during her wing gust, and it takes a little bit to get those damaging abilities online for her to really kind of be that threat against Vamana. So this is just an early rushdown kind of jungler.
I just want to talk about the Hades versus Osiris matchup right here, because that looks like it's going to be that. Hades has a very interesting play against Osiris. If he uses that dash to use his 3 and heal in the wave, he just loses half of his health right after. Osiris just slow 3 and just starts beating you down, and it's a very vicious cycle. And with the Thanatos as well, if Hades dashes in, he's probably gonna die.
This is going to have to be a very careful matchup between these two players here. The Hades is going to have to know when to use that dash, know when to hold on to, where as the Osiris, he's going to grab Berserker's Shield very early on and just left click for days.
And I believe, are we going to go ahead and go into the match here? And we're going to go ahead and cut to a short break, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the match. So we will be back in just a minute. J-Mac, how do you feel about Geb Jungle?
You know, I've seen it a few times before, and in all honesty, I haven't seen it super successful. Now, there is some fun antics to be had with Geb Jungle because I believe his rollout is one of the highest damaging abilities in the game for a non-ultimate, especially for all of the Guardians as well. So, I mean, rollout's going to get him across the map very easily. He makes a gank and solo, hits that rollout, all of a sudden he's in mid lane. There's potential for it, but Lazarus is going to have to play this out really well.
All that stuff that I mentioned about Hades matchup, throw it out the window. Throw it out the window. Hades is support. He's not in solo. Vamana's in solo. He's not. Hopefully, he doesn't get Berserker Shield because that wouldn't make any sense. He's probably going to get Gladiator Shield, and I feel like the solo lane is a much more even and clean matchup. It should be fairly even for both sides.
And I like that Zero recognized that he's going to be going against this heavy auto attack based warrior, so he went ahead and picked up the Mage's Blessing, which is going to make his abilities do more to help clear that wave. And early on in dual lane, Genetics taking quite a bit of poke. And remember the whole Chernobog thing, doesn't matter, it's thought. Genetics is trying to juke his best, getting away for the time, and there's the med, keeps him alive.
Yeah, I mean, once Genetics hits level 2, if he hits it before he dies, he'll be able to heal, but he's taken, that pluck hit him, he's very low. They have to hope that they can get to level 2, potentially get this purple buff, otherwise Genetics is in a very tough spot, even though they are out clearing.
For the time being, I mean, they're doing just fine. Thoth and Hades are going to be able to clear out this wave much easier than Anhur and Sobek are. And with that, you mentioned the heal. I mean, Genetics already popping through the potions. That multi-pot, there he's going to get plucked right back into the back of the wave.
Rotation from Isis coming over. Necro D is just coming up right behind them. They have no idea. They have no ward. Genetics is still level 1. He could hit level 2 here, but here comes the Spirit Ball. The stun hits. Wing Gust is coming through. Genetics gets impaled, and that's going to be first blood. And the pluck. Oh, Joshi. Oh, Joshi. That's 2 kills for Babylon Esports.
Perfect rotation early on by Necrody to be able to pull that one off. And you said it's early. There's no ward coverage this stage of the game. Nobody buys wards in the first couple of minutes. That maybe we'll have to start seeing some more wards picked up here because that rotation perfect from it. I don't even know if there was a call out from their mid laner like, oh, where's Isis going?
No, I believe that Chernobog may have rotated over to the right side, looking at mid camps, and he may have just not seen it.
Well, you can see that Necrody does have the red buff, so as soon as he out-cleared the Chernobog, which is not a hard thing to do at level 1, going to be able to rotate over, stole that red, and then went straight to him, and now Panda getting aggressive. That's going to be the blink from the Thanatos.
Yep. The Thanatos blink coming down. Meanwhile, Kev is just trying to steal these back camps. I believe he got 1, Thanatos got 2. Sir Flamas is currently going on to Lasbro, but Chernobog's going to come over and be like, hey man, please stop. But the Spirit Ball is good. Death Sight will be coming up in just a minute. Lasbro's in a really bad spot. Wingus going to pick up the kill. 3 kills to 0 for Babylon Esports.
And unfortunately for Death Panther, he's going against probably one of the, and even for Lasbro, they're going against one of the worst gods in their matchup, which is Isis, having that knockup and root immunity during her Wingus. They can't stop her. If Isis goes into Wingus, you cannot keep her from going into it. You're going to have to expend your Cataclysm in order to stop her, or you're going to have somebody else have to come through as well.
Sir Flamma is going to steal the speed and the back camps away from Harris Fan Club, going for these right side mid camps. But Lasbro is going to recognize it and just go straight to the red instead, understanding that he's going to lose experience on that side. Might as well not waste his time. Meanwhile, on the left side, Fire Eagle picks up another kill, or the second kill onto Joshi.
This lane's not going as well as they hoped it would here. Hades and Thoth at level 2 probably have the best push of any dual lane out there. The problem is they got rotated on so heavily early by that Isis, it really kind of just put them that little bit behind. It's not a ton, just that little bit made it to where they have to be much more hesitant about what they do.
Yeah, Genetics normally is a Hades. You dash in, you use your 3, wave is cleared basically, but in this case, if he does that, he's going to immediately get plucked. As you can see, dashes in, gets plucked, immediately impaled, and he loses most of his health. Fire Eagle and Black Phoenix are looking really damaged, though. They both stood within melee range of Hades and took so much damage.
Joshi showed back up at the perfect time to be able to get that evade and punish out, helping his support, keeping him alive, and in fact putting a lot more pressure into their favor now as they're looking to maybe push up towards this purple buff, steal that one away.
It looks like they are going to go get it. I mean, there's no contention whatsoever from Babylon Esports. Let's go ahead and take a look over the solo side. All right, it's 2 warriors. All right, let's go somewhere else.
Left side, they really want to get Black Phoenix, but he's got the juke boots and the minions just holding them in place here. But now they gotta be careful. Sir Flamand making the rotation through, and Death Sight hurt Price a lot.
Oh, here comes Death from above. Genetics is out of mana. The pluck. Where are you going? He's trying to waste as much time as possible, but it do not matter. Sir Flamas is now level 6, and he is laughing at you.
I mean, when you think about it, lore-wise, the apprentice has beat the master.
Oh. That's why he's laughing, man. He's like, I'm the boss now. Look at me. Look at me. I am the captain now.
I am the captain of the underworld.
Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and see Thoth look at that red buff. I'm not sure who's going to pick it up. Joshi is going to take it. I agree with that decision. It makes the most sense just to give him that damage to be able to try to push this lane where they're falling behind.
Well, Devour Gauntlets have been started up by Black Phoenix. He's got 3 stacks onto him.
Right side.
Trying to go for the poke, but onto the right side. Zero getting low, but now Provid's the one who's being turned on.
Yeah, the Cataclysm came out, and he just kept fighting. Lasbro picks up a kill, but meanwhile on the left side, 2 kills. 1 for Genetics, and the other one is going to be going to Fire Eagle, but Genetics is in a bad spot. Thanatos is here, but he's going to back off.
Good for now. Those tank boots really coming into big play for Genetics. The more damage he takes, the more protections he's going to gain as that stacks up, and doing the typical, what would normally be the solo lane fashion of, hey, you can just back in front of me, throws it in hand at Fire Eagle, says, hey, stay in lane for a little longer.
If you don't stop somebody from backing, you're playing wrong. BM. If you don't BM, you're not playing right. You got to stop them, then you got to laugh, and when they go for it again, dive tower, stop them again.
Hey, I did it to the hubble earlier. I walked up, I threw an in-hand at him, had to stop. Dropped my heel on top of him, had to stop. Then he went to the back of his tower, so I ulted him, he had to stop. So
Exactly.
Like, come on, man. But left-hand side.
Oh, here we go.
Black
Black
Phoenix
Phoenix.
still alive?
No, he's going to fall to Death Panther right now. Genetics is hiding in the purple buff, but Death Panther is looking in Necrody. Genetics, the Spear Ball is going to miss because of a fear. The blink from Sir Flamus is going to pick up Genetics. Death Panther is looking to see if he can get this kill. He knows he's going to die. He's going to pick up the kill. But meanwhile, Wingush is going to come in. Necrody is on a killing spree.
Babylon Esports 10-4 right now against Harris Fan Club, and they're really showing where their lead is extending here. It's in the jungle and the mid laners, 3-0 apiece, and 3 kills for Fire Eagle as well. Really putting the work in as a support Sobek, and really doing their best in this lane. You can see 5 deaths on Joshi. They know who the prime target is, and they're making sure to keep him down as much as possible.
They're playing their comp as well as they can. They picked a very aggressive comp. You know, you have the Osiris, you have Sobek and Thanatos early game. Isis as well, even with that early rotation. Isis isn't even necessarily someone who has to play aggressive, but they're playing this team comp together in a way where their cohesion comes from them being together and going straight in and just getting kills, as you can see from the scoreboard.
Oh my god, Death Panther just got chunked under half from a death scythe from a Surf Lamaz, and that's the power of 2 items online for him. But it's as we mentioned in the picks and the bans, sprinkling from Lazarus, quick beats, Necro D, gonna get out from that one and immediate retreat. But it's just like we mentioned in the picks and the bans, how it's an early game comp versus a late game comp, and right now Babylon is playing it exactly how they want. They've got the early mid control, let's keep forcing it.
Yeah, but Harris Fan Club, they're standing their ground. They're only about 2,000 or so gold behind right now. So they're going to keep going. Meanwhile, on the right side, that was a solo. I just want to say Lasbert was there. He just got there, but that was a solo. Zero just soloed Provid.
He rolled up for the assist, man. He's like, hey, I'm here. Oh, all right, you don't need me? All right, cool. I'm going back to your blue then. That's all that Lasbert was there for. Zero playing out this matchup very well for himself. As you mentioned, the Gladiator shield to be picked up here. It has been. That Mage's Blessing is really helping Zero out because it's giving him that extra little bit of damage that comes with his abilities, and he's able to out-trade against Provid. And that's the big thing is, if you can out-trade an Osiris with Berserker Shield, you're doing fairly well for yourself here in this lane.
It looks like, however, he is potentially going to be building into Gladiator Shield himself. There's potential for maybe a Void Shield, which could work out well in this matchup. Meanwhile, Necrody is going to pick up a kill onto Death Panther over on the left side mid camps.
Necrody really getting himself up. Lasbury going to be silenced out in mid lane. Death side for the Geb Shield on top. Spear Ball. 3-man Cataclysm.
Oh,
and the pluck not going to hit from Fire Eagle, and that's going to be the end of that engagement.
Lasbra does not care about your silly engagements. He just walks away from them. He's going to be going for his speed buff now, but a group up on the Gold Fury. Fire Eagle is currently zoning. He's going to pluck them. It's going to be stopped, and Genetics is very low, going to fall to Black Phoenix and Gold Fury. They're just going to continue it.
Genetics had no chance there. He was a lone Hades in the middle of 4 people. Surf Llama's going up in the air. They know where Joshi's at. They're going to dunk right down on top of him. Gold Fury will go to Babylon, and now Joshi on a full retreat. Surf Llama's barreling down the lane with that scent of death.
Oh, man. The Soul Reap doing so much damage is just going to pick up that kill. That's 2 kills. The Gold Fury on the side of Babylon Esports steadily increasing their lead. As you can see, pings coming out all over the map because someone is mad.
And Lasper stealing away that back cam, looking for the blue, but it's not going to be there for him. And instead, nope, actually went out to the other side there. Provid will spot him out on the ward as he walked by, but Lasper just going to make his way back down, get his jungler's blue buff with him.
So right now, this whole comp that Babylon has been going for has been working out very well. However, looking at it, Black Phoenix is only level 9. You'd think with all this aggression coming out, even though he's died twice, you'd think he'd be farther ahead of this 0 and 6 Thaw. The level difference is really coming in other players in this game.
It really is. There's 2 in the mid lane, but there's a reverse 2 where Zero's ahead of his solo lane. So the levels are all kind of evening themselves out across the board. You know, maybe 1 or 2 extra levels on the side of Babylon, but you really can't see kind of the gold differences coming in. And Zero, it's a 2-man help kill there with Lasbra, takes down the tower as well. You can see on the net worth chart really where the difference is coming through. You can see Necro D, 7,300 gold to his name. His opposing mid laner, 6,300, 1,000 gold down between them.
Mid lane, Flamma's going to go ahead and pick up a kill onto Joshi. Easiest target he could potentially pick. Looks like there is going to be a blink over on the right side. Zero is going to be doubled up on by Necrody and by Sir Flammas, but he picks up a kill. He picks up a kill in a 2v1 situation, does trade out his own life for it, but that was a win.
That's a big win for him. And because he's to get the shutdown bonus onto Necrody. Now Genetics pulling in Sir Flamaz in with the Pillar of Agony. Gets the fear right into the Devourer's Souls. Gonna be a quick one for Genetics. Now Fire Eagle on full retreat as he's trying to get away. Genetics not gonna find the last hit. And Provid, he's just trying to get as far as he can as Fire Eagle. He's gonna be turned on by Death Panther.
A great turnaround. Lasber picks up the kill on the Provid. That's 3. Was that 4 kills total? Yeah, because Isis died just a second earlier. 4 kills right there. Wait, did Joshi just?
Did you hear that too?
Red buff?
Yeah, I think
he just ulted the red buff. It's down. He is not getting his red buff stolen today. He's already lost his left tower. His tier 2 tower is at almost no HP right now. He needs something today. Give him something.
I think that's exactly why. It's because, bro, I am sitting under T2 with like 500 HP to it. I need something in my life, and it's going to be this red buff. I'm 0-7 right now. I need this. I need to kill something with this ult.
He's going to go ahead and back to base, though. Zeros and Lasba right now are kind of keeping their team afloat. The only one who's really not doing too hot is Joshi, as we've seen.
Ooh, Sir Flamaz barely getting out of that one. He'll be able to use that ultimate to get away from Death Panther, Genetics, and Zero, who made the rotation over. But now Necrody's the one who's going to have to be careful as that Umbrella Ring doing a good little bit of damage to him.
Oh, here comes the Cataclysm in the mid lane tower. The ultimate from Isis is going to be thrown down as well as Zeros, but he is getting junked, and Necrody's going to pick up the kill while Prophet comes into the backline and realizes, I can't fight these guys. Genetics is going to ult in the backline, but there are 5 people there, buddy. You can't take that. You fall. And Harris Fan Club is like, okay, we're out. Full retreat. Let's go.
Black Phoenix going to be stunned out by the evade and punish. The Glyph of Pain is up there. T1 tower is at risk, but Joshi charging up that ult. He's going to bring them minions right down. Say no further engagement from you guys. But Babylon Esports, they have option here to go to the Pyromancer that is up. And now with no ult from Joshi, there's no real good way to steal this.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, that ultimate's down. There's nothing they can do. Babylon is going to take the Pyromancer. Do you see? They have 3 wards, like right in that little area right there. They have 3 wards just right there in the entrance to the Pyromancer. Do you see that?
Nobody's coming around that corner at all. No one's going to sneak around it. No one's going to be safe under their tower as Black Phoenix gets the final in hand. Genetics chunked out by the Spirit Ball, plucked right into the back and burned down immediately. Big double kill for Black Phoenix.
Yeah, and we're going to see Death Panther coming around, seeing if he can do something. Sir Flammas is going to land, but Zeros has his ultimate again. He can't catch him. He is going to just run away. Sir Flammas says, hello. Zero's dash comes out, so does the Soul Reap. That's a silence. Zeros, you have made a mistake. When your team doesn't want you to chase, you don't chase. And Provid takes up that kill.
There it is. And now Lasper's getting a chase on the Black Phoenix, trying to see if he can get something. The rollout's coming through. Does do a lot of damage. Has to cancel it out because the ultimate, but Black Phoenix heal himself back up. And Death Panther's here from the sky. He will take down Black Phoenix.
Provid and Sir Flammas, the 2 guys you don't want chasing you, are chasing Death Panther right now. Labra is out with his dash. Necrody is going to be going away. That good shield right there, a lot of health. But Lasber looks like he might potentially be trying to sack, but instead, he's just going to be given a double kill. Whereas the non-charged Thoth ult comes out, Flammas gets a double kill. What are you going to do?
You're just going to run at this point. Poor Joshi, he has to sit all the way back well behind his tier 2 tower. And now Sir Flamaz able to help push up this gigantic fat minion wave, try and push into the tower, but it is the Thoth. He's going to clear it. Okay. He is a Thoth, so he's going to get chunked.
He's going to clear his health bar is what he's going to do. Now, I'd just like to point out something, besides the Gold Fury being taken by Babylon Esports.
Besides the Gold Fury?
Flammas is just named Flammas. Sir is a title.
Nah, he's Sir. He's Sir to me.
I forgot they added titles to this game, so I was like, man, I didn't know you could have spaces in your name.
Bro, he'll always be Sir Flammas to me. Always.
Wait, Fire Giant?
This is a Fire Giant call already. 16.5 minutes. Zero is on the way here.
I mean, he's right there.
Enough to where they could do it. Zero going to very early into the fight and charge forward. Fire Giant only taking a little bit of poke. If they want to reset it, it's going to have to be on this next push here. But now they're on the full commit for it. The Ice Assault dropped down the Spear Ball. 2 people knocked up from it. Gotta be careful, but they're going to get it no matter what. Ice Assault just too strong of a commit.
Fire Eagle waiting that entire time to get a pluck. Genetics goes in, but you're not going to be able to do much here, buddy. He's going to take half of his health. He is going to ult, but that's going to be Flamma's picking up another kill. This is a very scary situation for Harris Fan Club.
Flamma is going to double blink alongside Zero, who's going to use his dash to get back to the safety of his tower. 5 players with Fire Giant on them for Babylon Esports, and looking at the graphs, 4,000 gold and only 1,000 experience difference doesn't seem like much, but when there's a Fire Giant around the waist of Babylon at 17 minutes, this is the kind of comp that they need to really start pushing hard with.
Yeah, exactly. They've been going for aggression the entire time, and it's still not late game. I mean, the highest level in the game right now is 16. It's still around that mid-game, starting to get to the transition point. So the aggression from Babylon Esports is still going to be wildly effective.
As long as they continue this, they'll be fine setting forward. But like I said in the picks and the bans, about that 25 to 30 minute mark is when this composition will start falling off. It'll be a lot less viable going into it. Now, they're still going to have a lot of damage, but Thanatos isn't going to be getting those half HP chunks like he did previously. Fire Eagle is going to throw Lasbro back, but there's no one there to follow up with them.
Yeah, he got the rollout, and he was thinking it might be something, but it's a 5v5 situation right now, and you don't want all of your members committing to a Geb. Even if he is jungle and he's building for damage, he still has that shield, which can buy time.
And that shield does have a pretty high base value onto it, making sure that and the big thing from that as well is the CC cleanse that comes onto it. Realizing that the mid lane's a little too congested, Babylon's going to make their way to the left-hand side. That one with relative ease.
We're going to see Flamma's go ahead and get out of there. Genetics going to use his ult and not get anybody. Flamma's going to land in the back. Provid looking like he might be in a bad situation as Evade and Punish gets the stun. Zero picks up the kill, and now Death Panther goes in looking for the kill onto Flamma's.
Oh, he's going to get out of that one immediately. The Final Judgment not going to hit anything, and Genetics pushed against the wall and dropped down. Using the wall himself, Death Panther avoids the Spirit Ball, but Zero, he's full HP. He's in the back line, but he is losing all that HP quick, while Flamaz and Lasbra end up trading themselves out, and Zero falling to Necrody.
We see 3 people still on Babylon Esports looking to push. There's only 2 people left here for Harris Fan Club, so they're going to look to see if they can get a tower here, potentially in the mid lane, even though the wave is pushed up to about the halfway point.
Lasbro's able to clear away that red buff, keep that one safe and out of the hands of Babylon Esports, but mid lane is not pushed up, but it doesn't matter because Fire Eagle, he's going to put forward into it anyways. Necrody going to walk up and help push down this tower, but they're not doing a whole lot of damage to it right now. Without those minions, those backdoor protections are really keeping that thing healthy, but they've got the FG to sustain themselves up and provide that extra little bit of damage. Lasbra blinking in. Not really going to find too much off of it just yet. In fact, looks like he's going to be turned right back on, and Necrody getting the final hit.
He was waiting to see if he could find whoever had the least health on them, but now 2 more members of Harris Fan Club are going to be going in, but they don't realize those people who died earlier, they also have a respawn timer, and it already finished. So they're back. They're going to go ahead and take you out. Genetics realizes, I just need to get it back in, man. I'm tired of dying.
Genetics, level 13, the lowest on his team and the lowest in the game at the moment. Fire Eagle right behind him at level 14. At 2-8, 2-8-4, and 0-9-4. The duo lane for Harris Fan Club not working out as well as they had hoped.
You know, you'd think that Thoth as an ADC would work out better. That's a lie. No, you don't. 0-9 against this comp. Thoth was picked 3rd pick, so you already had a Sobek against you. Thanatos was picked immediately after, I believe. So in picking a Thoth for ADC going into Sobek, really not the best call.
Well, Law's going to have to use his ult, go right back to safety as Zero was doing quite a bit of damage back to him. And now that Zero is getting a little bit of that tankiness online, he's got the Breastplate of Valor and the Runic Shield to provide some protection, but for the most part, both these warriors are going a little more damage heavy.
Yeah, and overall, it's working out in favor of Provid. because his team is already so far ahead, he's able to build more damage. But for Zero, he's been getting into these fights and doing a little bit of damage, but then after that, he just dies. He hasn't been tanky enough to sustain in these fights. As we saw earlier, he used his ult, and then he just died. He has the most player damage in the game right now, just barely, about one death scythe away from losing it. But he's not doing enough in these fights to warrant not building defense.
I like that increment of measure, one death scythe's worth of damage.
I mean, that's all it takes, man. It's like 400. It's probably, half a death scythe. Who knows? Fire Giant, though, going to be started up by Babylon Esports. You're going to see Zeros come in to see if he can contest it, but that Ice Ult comes out. There's really nothing you can do against that. Even though she popped it a little bit late, Zero, now very low, is going to get landed on by Flammas and just, whoop, gone.
Ooh, Final Judgment's gonna slam into 2, but Death Panther's gonna be thrown back into the hands of Necrody, who's gonna drop him down immediately. Last run, Genetics, the last one's here on the back line, but Genetics, he realizes he can't stand in that pillar very long, and he's gonna be dropped down by Necrody as well. Big double kill for the mid laner.
Genetics, the only one feeling agony in that pillar, really. Everybody else was just sitting there having a fun time. Meanwhile, mid lane Phoenix looks like it's not going to be having a fun time, as we have 4 members of Babylon Esports, all with Fire Giant rushing it down. Actually, oh yeah, only 4. I was confused. I didn't see Prophet anyway.
It was the pillar of personal agony was what it was. As mid lane Phoenix will fall. Bond's taking a lot of damage, but gonna return it right back to Josh, and I think that right there is what tips him up into the favor. Almost 2,300 and more damage than Zero at this point in that last fight. Flamaz putting out quite a bit of work. Josh gonna get the evaded punish onto Black Phoenix, but immediately another death scythe, but that's the death of the hand of death, as Panzer's the one to grab him.
Lasbra is going to pick up a kill onto Black Phoenix here, and Fire Eagle is running away. Evade and Punish is going to hit. Death Panther going to confirm the kill. Zero coming up onto Necrody, and I don't think there's much. Did he just cancel his ult?
Necrody? What's happening?
No, not Necrody. Zero canceled his ult. He went up, was Big Baby, hit him once.
CC immunity. CC immunity is the big thing. You don't get the extra movement speed, but you get those extra protections. But most importantly, the CC immunity to make sure that nothing is going to stop your onslaught there, dropping right back down. And now this game is turned on its head a little bit as Harris Fan Club now has the advantage. All 5 members alive, only Provid. And this is the one downside, is we're hitting that 25-minute mark where this anti-siege and late-game comp from Harris really starts to pull through.
Yeah, once these levels start to even out like they are, there's really nothing that Babylon Esports is going to be able to do because of the strength of certain gods. You have Death Panther on Chernobog. You have Zero actually just being way too far up and having to run away from Flammas. The Blink's going to come out. Death Scythe is going to chunk. Flammas is still looking for it, but there's another ult coming out, and Zero is not scared.
That Umbrella Rain came back by, but Death Panther now turned on by Sir Flamaz. Flamaz trying to get that last hit, but Death Panther will get it with the in-hand. Drop it down to the over-aggressive jungler from Babylon, Harris Fan Club. Now with the big advantage, 4 versus 5 going into this tower.
This is what we were talking about. 7 minutes ago, we would have seen Flammas just ult right in there, get a kill, maybe 2, and walk on out. And then they would have gotten an objective. Now, though, he goes in there, he dies, and now it looks like Babylon Esports is the one on the receiving end of the agony.
Ultimate from Necrody is not going to do anything. Genetic's going to use that pillar to hold him in place, but he's going to fall down immediately. And Black Phoenix burned out by Zero. Provid will find the support, but now Provid's on the run, knocked up by Zero, slowed by Lasbra, and just beaten to the ground. The big old baby going to smack him down. Double kill for the Harris solo laner.
That may have been the most sick bait I've ever seen a Hades do. He Pillar of Agony, waited a second. As soon as Osiris was about to ult, he canceled it and just walked away. And Osiris just used his ult on nothing. He just gave away his life. That was awesome. That was so sick. And now we're seeing this game start to even out. Harris Fan Club is starting to push right on back. If you take a look at the graphs, the experience difference is in favor of Harris Fan Club, and the gold difference is starting to come right on back up.
Well, you can see who used to be a level 2 levels down. The time is now a level or 2 levels up. Joshi, who's, like we said, 0-9. As far as The death count, he's well behind on compared to everybody, but he's been farming this whole time, keeping his experience up, and has now out-leveled Black Phoenix. Something that you don't really see too often, being in the position that he's in.
Hey, man, remember that time he ulted the red buff? This dude cares about experience.
That was it, man. Ulting that red buff was the turning point for him. He said, I've got that experience guaranteed. Babylon's going to get that Pyromancer guaranteed. Look to set up for this Fire Giant. But with only the mid Phoenix down and the wave not pushed too far up, Harris Fan Club has an opportunity to fight against this one.
2 members are going to back up Babylon Esports. Provid is going to get feared in the mid lane, but Harris Fan Club understands that they might not be able to get him. He is going to ult out, though. That's going to be a free ult, and that's going to be big for the next fight for Harris Fan Club.
What they need to do here is bait around this Fire Giant and take down Necrody. If they can get rid of their Isis, that's their Fire Giant contestant really crippled in this fight. Spirit Ball's not going to hit 0, and now you see it. It's the reverse. Previously, Babylon would go uncontested aside from 0 at this FG. Now, Harris is the one standing at the doorway of the Fire Giant saying, hey, come into us this time.
But we are going to see a pluck. The beat's too late on Death Panther. He's going to dash into the wall. Lasbro very low. The shield's going to come out good. Age is going to come out and bait the Thanatos. So he is going to die, but Joshi is going to pick up the Thanatos. Provid and Flambos are now down. Black Phoenix is having to run away, and Fire Eagle's in a bad position. Necro D dies, and Joshi gets a double kill.
It's a full turnaround from Harris Fan Club. Black Phoenix, the only one left alive. Not for much longer. Good, sir. The fear is good. The blink from 0. And the last bat to the face will do it. Deicide for Harris Fan Club. And only 1 tower stands in their way from all 3 Phoenixes being opened up.
It looks like Death Panther, though. He wants this Fire Giant. They had a lot of time. I think they could have gotten the Phoenix, but we'll see how this works out for them. Having this Fire Giant, I mean, with the way the fights are going, this is just going to sway it even more so in their favor. So if they win another big fight just like that, they're going to win the game. They lost 1 person and got a Deicide. With this late game comp,
all I'm seeing on that Fire Giant is just crit from Death Panther. Those big 400 plus crits swinging hard with that Deathbringer and Poison Star built onto this mid lane Hunter. It's already difficult time getting away from a Chernbog with his ultimate, his ability to double dash using the wall, and then the root that comes from the 1-2 combo that he has. I mean, the root feels like last eternity. Now, if he crits you, which he has a pretty good chance of doing so, almost a 50% chance of critting, he's going to slow you and reduce your damage output. Death Panther is going to be a nuisance to deal with in these next fights.
And he just finished his Titan Bane on that last back, so now he is at full build. He has that penetration from the Xyz and the Titan Bane, so he was already a problem. But I'd like to point out in that last fight, guess who got a double kill? The guy who was 0-9 just a minute ago got a double kill, killing the 2 most important members of Babylon Esports, the Isis and the Thanatos, and he just destroyed them both.
Well, now Joshi is full build himself. Octopad Bumba's mask, so he's going to increase his damage output, but also increase the amount of damage that he's going to take. But that big one, the 35% movement speed and genetics, thrown right into the back immediately. He's going to go back to the safety of his team, and Final Judgment almost takes out Sir Flamaz.
Fire Eagle got really low. He's going to have to move out, but Provid just walks into the Pillar of Agony and takes almost all of his health. There's still 5 members up. It's going to be a 4v5 here at this Phoenix. Actually, Genetics looks like he might actually be backing. He's gone. He's gone.
Oh, no. I was looking at 0, who got moved down to his place, who had the teleport there. Genetics looks like he DC'd there, actually, which is why that they're going to have to back off in this case. With a 4v4, it's not too bad, but without their support, they're not going to have that big defense. Now, Fire Eagle, he's here. He knows that they're there. Everybody knows the standoff's here. Zero's going to get the knock-up, try and block the path for the charge play.
He's doing it so well.
hard.
Zero going to take damage, is going to get plucked, and
oh my lord, he is gone. Flamaz up into the sky looking for a target. It's going to be Death Panther. Immediately drops down. The Aegis is going to be good from Death Panther. The Geb Shield from Lapra is good, but not enough to stop him as Flamaz gets the shutdown onto Death Panther.
Uh-oh, this is looking like a real bad situation for Harris Fan Club. They have 3, Genetics is back. They have 3 members now. However, Joshi is very low. He's going to fall, and it looks like this is potentially the end of the game. I mean, he's going, we have, how many members? 5 members? We have
Flamus
4
was-
members pushing down mid lane from Babylon Esports.
Flamus is so fast between this with the Hand of Death previously with that speed buff onto him. He's able to keep up with Lasbra because of that because of his passive built in with the Sense of Death. He is chasing a Geb through the jungle right now. Up into the sky he goes. He wants to kill for it while the mid Phoenix is being taken down. Lasbra, can you get out of this? No, sir. Flamas will drop him, and Genetics falls at the mid Phoenix.
Zeros, however, is up right now. Death Panther up in 4 seconds. The Titan is under attack. Necrody very low. Titan is at half health. Death Panther is here. He's trying to do the most he can. Use those beads. Fire Eagle really low. The Ice Assault is going to come out. Death Panther is not going to be able to do it as we see Babylon Esports finish this game on top.
That's heartbreaking for Harris Fan Club. They had all the momentum moving forward, and the little disconnect from Genetics at the end was the entire turning point. Harris Fan Club started the retreat, but then we're like, no, guys, we can do this, no problem. It's 4v4. We're even in this case. But little did they know that Genetics was the backbone of those fights there, because he was able to take the pluck, soak up the damage, so that way one of theirs didn't. And Zero, because he built so much damage, he wasn't able to survive in those fights.
Yeah, overall, looking at these stats right here, you can see towards the end of the game, I mean, Harris Fan Club was starting to get some superior stats over Babylon Esports. They started pushing, not only like in terms of kills in the end game, in terms of damage, we see Death Panther and even Joshi doing significant amounts. Zero, I mean, we knew he did a lot of damage. He's Vamana who built for damage. He's going to do a lot. But it really was that disconnect right there, turning point.
Turning point was the disconnect there. With Genetics DCing, that was pretty much the end of the momentum for Harris Fan Club, because they tried to push it when they didn't have the opportunity to do so. They thought the 4v4 was going to be okay, but it quickly went south for them, and with it, Babylon Esports able to push the end and take the win.
So with that, we're going to go ahead and cut to a short break before we get back to you with some more Smite action. So make sure you stick around, and we'll be back in just a few.